There was a time when Ronaldinho ruled the world, a magician with a football, a man who made defenders dance and fans fall in love. But behind that smile was a wild life spiraling out of control. This is the rise and fall of football's happiest genius. Born in Porto Alegre, Brazil, little Ronaldo de Assis Moreira grew up in poverty, but he had something special. A ball at his feet and magic in his veins. At 13, he once scored 23 goals in a single game. The world started watching. By 20, he was dazzling crowds at Grêmio and then PSG. His flair wasn't just skill, it was samba. In 2003, Ronaldinho joined Barcelona, a club struggling, rebuilding, desperate for inspiration. And in his very first game at the Camp Nou, he gave it to them. A goal from 30 yards out, off the crossbar. The stadium erupted. From that day on, a new era had begun. He wasn't just good, he was divine. He dribbled like the ball was tied to his feet. No-look passes, flip-flaps, elastico nutmegs. He was playing jazz while others played scales, and the world couldn't get enough. Commentators ran out of words, fans wore his shirt in every corner of the planet. He smiled, always, he danced, laughed, and lifted the game into art. In 2005, at the Santiago Bernabeu, the unthinkable happened. Ronaldinho destroyed Real Madrid so thoroughly. Their fans gave him a standing ovation. Let that sink in. Real Madrid fans cheering a Barcelona player. That night, he wasn't just the best in the world, whom he was the most loved. And in 2005, the Ballon d'Or was his. He had done it. Under his influence, a young Lionel Messi was learning, watching, being groomed to take over. But even as Ronaldinho soared, the signs of burnout were already creeping in. He had reached the top, but didn't know how to stay there. After hitting the peak, Ronaldinho's decline was dramatic and painful to watch. The flair remained, but the sharpness faded. He skipped training, he stayed out late. He was partying in nightclubs more than he was training on pitches. His once legendary work ethic had vanished. Barcelona staff said he was regularly showing up hungover, if at all. The beautiful smile, still there, but behind it, he was losing control. In 2008, Pep Guardiola took charge of Barcelona and made a brutal call. Ronaldinho must go. He was told to leave not just for his decline, but because they feared he'd negatively influence a teenage Messi. However, years later, Guardiola clarified that he had initially wanted Ronaldinho to stay. In an interview, Ronaldinho even said, "Pep told me he was counting on me, he wanted me to stay, but I felt it was the right time to go." So while the club moved on, the decision was also Ronaldinho's. At AC Milan, there were flashes of magic, but they were rare. He was slower, less fit, less hungry. Then came Flamengo, then Atletico Mineiro. Clubs that reminded fans what he used to be, not what he was now, but no one could have predicted what came next. In 2020, Ronaldinho was arrested in Paraguay for entering the country using a fake passport. Let that sink in, the global football icon, using a fake passport. He and his brother were jailed. He spent 32 days in prison, then over 4 months under house arrest in a hotel. It was surreal. Ronaldinho playing futsal with inmates, posing for prison selfies, smiling as if nothing was wrong. The man who once ruled the world, now stuck in a hotel room waiting for freedom. But despite all of that, despite the partying, the arrests, the fall, Ronaldinho remains beloved because what he gave the game was magic. In his prime, he made football feel light, like a dream, like joy. He didn't just inspire players, he created them. Ask Neymar, ask Messi, ask hundreds of young stars across the world. Why did you start playing? Most will say, Ronaldinho. Even in his darkest hours, he never lost his joy. In prison, he was reportedly the happiest man there, dribbling in sandals, scoring goals in five-a-side, high-fiving inmates. How do you hate a man who lives like that? In 2023, FIFA named him an ambassador. He still travels the world, smiling, dancing, reminding fans what football used to feel like before the stats, before the business, before the noise. Ronaldinho will always be a paradox, a man who wasted his potential, yet still gave us more than most ever could. He didn't play the perfect career, but for a few glorious years, he played the perfect game.